quick little tutorial on how to do the serpentine belts on a NB Miata. So we actually already have the radiator out for another project we're doing, but we're going to start from right here and we'll take a look. All right, so radiator's out. Gil went through and actually put a 21 millimeter socket right there on the crank pulley in order to get it turned over so we can reach the access point here.
Well, let's back that up. What we ended up doing was using a box end wrench that's adjustable, because when you put a socket on there and a wrench, it's too deep and runs into this bar. So a big adjustable wrench will turn this bolt, which will give this inspection port. It'll reveal a bolt right behind it, and then you've got a bolt here for the tensioner to tighten it, and another bolt on the back side that you can access somewhat easily with the box end wrench. And I believe they're all going to be 14 millimeters, between 12 and 14. I know this one under here is a 14. But that's going to allow you to move this pump so that you can take the tension off the belt and replace it. Once you move to the alternator, you got the same series of bolts. Tensioner there, a pivot bolt here, and a pivot bolt that you have to get to from behind it. A little bit easier to get to from under the car. Fortunately, we've already jacked it up. But that's going to allow you to pull the tension off of the belt and then readjust the tension. You want to get about a quarter turn of deflection in there, and you'll be good. So this would be easier if we just simply pulled this air filter assembly out. All right, so we got all of our bolts loosened, and we loosened them all because it was real stiff. So now we've got where we can move the pump up and down, which gives us enough room to slide this belt off of it. Now the temptation was to go ahead and put the belt back on, tighten it all back up. But you can't do that because you got to do this inside belt first. So we're gonna do that one next.
We also took the air box from right there and flipped it up on top of the motor just to give us a little bit more clearance in order to make this work. You don't necessarily have to, but it will make life a lot easier. And it's this bolt that had to be loosened, this one right here, and then of course this is your tensioner bolt, and that one that we were talking about earlier that's right inside here.
Yeah. Interesting. So we'll get this bolt off and we'll be back.
Hey Gil.
Yeah.
You remember when you said this car was so clean that nothing would be hard to get off and be super easy to get to everything?
Well, I mean, it is a bolt. It's supposed to be tight. It's not dirty.
All right, so for the main drive belt, loosen this one right here. This one down here is actually accessed from under the car. I tried to get some video of that. We'll see how that turned out. And then this is your tensioner bolt. Just back it out and you'll be able to move this alternator freely to get the old belt off. All right, so the main drive belt is the 350K4. The only trick to this is just being sure that you get this belt on those grooves. On those grooves well right there to be sure it just lines up and it's not getting pinched.